Hi from me and Momo again. Hi. Today we're going to be talking about allergies. Momo has been super allergic to a bunch of stuff recently, and it's been really difficult kind of managing through it. So a recap, it all started in January. It all started in January with a chicken and rice kibble that we have from Kirkland. And I typically buy my dog food from Costco, the Kirkland brand, because it's cheaper, it's good quality, etc., etc. And I never had a problem with it until January. And then I started seeing hot spots and him losing a bunch of fur. And it was like really scary at first because I had no idea what it was. And the spots kept growing and growing and growing. And eventually they became really angry. I took him to a doctor and they said, you know, it's a bacterial infection, this and that. And we had to put him on antibiotics and steroids. And the antibiotics were for 2 weeks, and then the steroids were for about 2 to 3 weeks as well. So, you know, then I tried putting him on beef and it cleared up. And then I put him on turkey to, like, you know, try to eliminate that it was really all foul and that it was a chicken. And it was. He flared up again on the turkey, and I kind of got really scared, and we had to do the antibiotics and the steroids again. Then I moved him on to salmon for 2 months, and then after the salmon I started switching him back to beef because I like to rotate my proteins. But as soon as I switched him onto beef for a week, another flare up. You know, steroids and antibiotics again. And mind you, this is the 3rd time within a span of 4 months. So that's a lot of steroids and antibiotics for him to be on. You know, then we switched him back onto salmon, but then for a month and a half. And then once I started the half-month mark again, another hot spot. And at that point I was like, okay, there's no way I'm doing this anymore. I'm not gonna keep my baby on steroids all the time. So I talked to my vet and she suggested an elimination diet. And for those of you that don't know, an elimination diet is pretty intense and it's really long. What you do is they put you on this special veterinarian diet that's prescribed. It's super, super expensive. It's 4-pound bag for $33. And for Momo, that would be about a bag every 2 days. And I couldn't afford that. And what it does is basically it gives you a protein that kind of resets the dog's balance. So it's a protein that's so small that there can't be an immune reaction to it. And basically your dog gets put back on baseline, and then what you do is you gradually like introduce meats that he could be allergic to. So I would introduce him chicken for a week. If there's a reaction, then we know he's allergic to chicken. And then we move on to turkey, and then we move on to beef, and we move on to salmon, so on and so forth. Momo wanted to join in. And then after that, you know, it takes a while because sometimes the food doesn't react in the system until 8 to 12 weeks later. So you have to put him on the protein for at least 2 months. And then what if he is allergic? Then I have to go back with the hot spots, then I have to go back with the steroids, then I have to go back with the antibiotics. And that was pretty much already what I was doing. So I was like, there's no way I wanna like keep him on this. And you know, there's so many other ingredients in the dog food that you can't just say that the protein is the main issue. You know, like it could be something completely different other than the meat. So the elimination diet is a very thorough way to really explore allergies, but it really wasn't one that I was willing to really put the trial and error into because that could have been years. And I'm glad I didn't because readjustment. I had a friend who's been through this, who has a Shiba Inu that was highly allergic to everything, and he got a allergy test done. And you know, at this point, I'm so desperate, I was like, why not? And it was kind of scary, but at the same time really relieving because the allergy test, yes, it's not 100% accurate. Like, I understand that completely. It's like about 60 to 75% accuracy rate, but most of it's false positives, meaning it's, you're gonna get more stuff on the list than he's actually allergic to, but that worked for me because then it's like, you know, an elimination diet. I ordered the test and all it was a company called 5 Strands. I'm no way, shape, and form am I being paid to, you know, advertise them. But, you know, 5 Strands, and I just plucked out some fur from his head and I sent it in. And within 2 weeks, I got my results back. And in the meantime, I took him off the salmon diet completely because I was like, there's no way, he's in pain, he's itchy. I can't do this. I don't want the hot spots to get worse either and have to get steroids, because I caught them pretty early this time. So in the meantime, I started looking up home cooked foods, and I started cooking for him from scratch. And it was really kind of overwhelming because it's really hard to make a balanced dog diet. And I don't even know still how to make a balanced dog diet. There is a great website, it's called Balance It. And that is like a generator where you can put down all the ingredients that you do have that you want to cook with, and they'll tell you, you know, for your dog's weight, this is how much you should be putting in each. And it's pretty cool. That way, you know, you're making a balanced dog diet. And then you also have to buy supplements too, because they're not going to get all the vitamins and nutrients from the food themselves. You have to supplement that, and that could be a bit expensive too. So I just did a simple beef and rice diet with carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower, and that really helped the hot spots. You know, once he flushed the salmon kibble out of his system, he started, you know, recovering. So I didn't go with my veterinarian's suggestion, but I did talk to her about doing a home cooked diet instead. If you're struggling with allergies, I highly recommend you start doing that alternative first before doing anything crazy like all the prescribed diets. Look at this face. So Momo really improved, like I said before, and then after 2 weeks we got the results, and it was crazy. It was actually crazy because it turned out that what he was allergic to wasn't actually the protein in the dog food. It was more like the vegetables and the vitamins. Oh, he wants a belly rub. They sent me a 6-page report, which was pretty daunting, not gonna lie. But you know, it was worth it. It's $88, mind you, so it's pretty cheap. And it tests over 230 something food ingredients that you find in dog food. And when I saw the list, it was really kind of weird because he's allergic to protein, but not the meal of it. So he's highly allergic to turkey and salmon, but he's not that allergic to salmon meal or turkey meal, which kind of makes no sense. But, you know, it goes to show that it's just a bunch of junk. And the way they separate your allergies is it's through level 1, 2, and 3. So, level 3. Level 3s are the ones that you need to get rid of right away. They're the ones that are no bueno. They're the ones that are going to cause the hot spots, the itchiness, the diarrhea, constipation, whatever it is that you guys are experiencing with allergies. Like, that's level 3. Need to be taken out right away. And as you can see here, whoops. Okay, so maybe not as you can see here, but a lot of it was the vegetables. So Kirkland actually has pretty decent ingredients, and that's why I chose them. But you know, it has chicory root, it has pea starch and pea fiber, and that's what he was allergic to, like severely. So I couldn't keep feeding him that because of that, not because of the chicken. And turns out he's not even allergic to chicken. That wasn't even on this allergen list. And that's kind of crazy to me. Level 2s are stuff that you should watch out for. You know, it could cause an issue either now or in the future, but it's not as severe and as urgent as level 3. So level 2 also had a bunch of stuff, like he's allergic to beef. He's allergic to beef meal. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy because that's what I was feeding him most of his life. But, you know, I don't think that was the main thing as to why he had the hot spots. Like I said again, it was probably the chicory root, or it was the vitamins. It was crazy. There were level 3 and level 2 vitamins, as you can see. You know, there's like calcium chloride and riboflavin, and potassium and ferrous sulfate, and that's stuff that like he needs. So I was kind of stressed. And level 1, it was the same thing. You know, it was like vegetables he loves and vitamins that he loved. So I'm having an issue now because it's like, okay, well, how am I going to find a dog food that doesn't have any of this stuff and it doesn't have any of these vitamins? And if I choose to cook him food, how am I going to get him the necessary vitamins that he needs? A lot of research was the answer. And I came up with this great solution from my uncle, who also feeds his dog homemade food. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cooking him homemade food with ingredients that he's not allergic to. So right now it's going to be white rice or brown rice, chicken, and vegetables. I'm probably going to do level 1 vegetables just because they're more accessible, and they didn't test for any other vegetables like Asian vegetables like bok choy or choy sum, so I don't want to risk that. So something like spinach or carrots and chickpeas, and I'm gonna put in some mackerel as well and some eggshells. Mind you, this list is pretty comprehensive, so it tells you, like, you can have egg yolk and not egg white. You can have chicken hearts, but not chicken liver, which is pretty good for me. Oh, and then you also have to have organ meat in there too, so some sort of organ meat in that mix. But because that's pretty expensive, I'm also gonna supplement it with a cup or 2 of kibble. Now hear me out. So what the point is, you know, you're supposed to have vitamins and minerals to go into your dog food, but he's allergic to a lot of the vitamins and minerals. And the vitamins and minerals are pretty expensive. It's like $60 for a month's worth of supplements, which is totally not feasible in my economic situation right now, my financial situation. So by having half of his food or a majority of his food be home cooked and with level 1 or like ingredients he's completely not allergic to, I'm going to make sure that he is healthy. And then by supplementing it with a little bit, either like a cup, half a cup of kibble, it's gonna A, fill him up more, so it's gonna be less expensive on my part, and B, provide him with some nutrients that he's missing in the cooked food. And my uncle's been doing this for a while, and he gave me a lot of his insight on that. And his dogs have never had a problem. So I'm hoping that this is gonna be a good alternative for Momo, and it's gonna keep him healthy and happy at the same time. So how did I find this food? It took a really freaking long time, let me tell you. I like Googled everything, like chicken without riboflavin, chicken without this, chicken without that. And then eventually, you know, I just kept looking and keep reading the ingredient list, and after 2 hours, I finally found one. Let me show you. Okay, so this actually just came today. And it's a 40-pound bag that I was able to buy for $67, which is not bad at all, considering what it is. And it is called Health Extension. Woo! It's original chicken and brown rice recipe. And these are all the ingredients. So like I said, you know, you can see the choline chloride, but you know, that's gonna be hard. You can't, you know, they need this stuff, so I'm not too concerned about it. There's only 2 level 3, level 2 vitamins in here though, so I'm pretty happy. Most dog foods have all of them. But as you can see, deboned chicken, he's okay with. Chicken meal, he's level 1. Brown rice, okay with. Oatmeal, level 2, not too bad. Chicken fat, he can have. Lamb meal, he can have. Oh my God, Momo. This fish meal, he can have. All of it. There is like one level 3, the brewer's dried yeast egg product. I'm not really sure what that is. But everything else is pretty good. Considering how I'm only going to be feeding him 1 cup or half a cup a day, I'm pretty sure that it's not gonna have too much of an impact on him, or I'm hoping at least it won't. But of course, you know, it's chewy.com that I got this from, so I can always return it, which is awesome. I love their return policy. And I'm really just doing this, you know, for the nutrition and to keep this guy nice and full, because he's always hungry. Hi. I know, you want to eat it so bad, don't you? With all that considering, I mapped it out kind of. So this is my analysis. For his original dog food, I bought 6 pounds of beef and I cooked that up, and it was $22 for the whole thing from Costco. It lasted him about half a month, which is not bad. It was $33 for all the ingredients total, and I still have some left over. So, you know, it's okay. I'm used to paying $35, so paying $60 kind of sucks, but what can I do? You know, this is gonna be really good for him. So what I'm hoping with this new diet, I'm doing whole chickens. I'm gonna cook whole chickens and debone them and, you know, shred them up, and then I'm gonna cook it that way, because those are 96 cents a pound. So it's a lot cheaper. And I'm gonna do that with the, like I said, the rice, the veggies, etc., and the oil and the organ meat. And so far, it's been $10, and we're gonna start it today, and we're gonna see how long that lasts. I'm just trying to find the most cost-efficient way to do this, which is gonna be, you know, trial and error. But I'm assuming that this 40-pound bag, because I used to go through a 35-pound bag within 6-7 weeks, that this 40-pound bag is gonna last me 4 to 5 months. So I'm pretty excited, and that's not too much of an overhead. You know, that's an extra $5-10 a month, and that's not that much. So compared to the 60 I could be spending, this is gonna be a lot better. Keep watching to see me prepare his meal and how happy he is. And we have some chicken, some rice, veggies, chickpeas, eggshells, and our organ meat. Now we just mixed everything up and microwaved it, so it's nice and hot. Half a cup of kibble. Smells good. I think he likes it.